How to find cash buyers for your wholesale land deals. Guys, this is Rick with Flip with Rick, and in this video, we are going to go over the exact steps in finding a cash buyer for your land wholesaling deals. Now, listen, before we get started, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and continue to receive free videos on how to up your wholesaling game. So let's talk about it. You're wholesaling land deals. Why not? You already do houses or you're considering doing houses. I'm going to tell you, doing land is actually easier. It's simpler because when you sell a house, you're usually dealing with the property and you're dealing with a house on top of it. So if you just remove the house, it's safe to say this should be an easier transaction. So I've done lots of land deals. One of my biggest regrets was not doing a lot more of them soon. A couple keys to doing land deals is they're pretty quick because let's face it, the earth is the earth. So it's dirt. There's very little landscaping. It just comes down to, is the lot cleared and are there basic utilities running into it? I don't get involved in all that stuff. I just want to sell the land and move on with my life. So the taxes, there's still taxes on the land, and that's about it. There's no insurance. There's no maintenance on the land other than, some people have to clear the land. It's it, guys. It's really simple. So why not go ahead and put this in your strategy? We've already talked about how to go out and find these wholesaling land deals. So we're going to talk specifically about getting the cash buyer. So first thing you want to do is go to listrei.com. That's listrei.com, and go in there and you want to build a list. So we're building a list specifically for cash buyers to wholesale our land to. What I need you to do is once you go in there, listrei.com, you're going to do a search criteria. So the first thing you want to do is set your geographic area. It makes sense, guys, search in the areas where you have land under contract or you're looking to purchase land in that area. So by now you've already got a feel for what it's trading for. So what we're going to do is just find these buyers. So under your filter criteria, the first thing we do is the geographic area. Do it by zip code or by city, or you can actually map it out. Just don't make it complicated. You want to find the buyers in your geographic area. That's the important thing. It's hard to talk an out-of-town buyer to come in and explain the local dynamics of your market. So if someone's already bought there, you're way ahead of the game. So at listrei.com, we have the filters. We pull it up. So we have the geographic area. The next one you want to do is you're going to look for cash buyers, right? The beautiful thing about wholesaling land, it's basically cash. No, very, very few people ever talk about financing only on high-end projects. So you don't have to worry about that. So that's a huge plus, and that's why I like doing land deals too. So cash buyers, and you're going to want to look for ones that purchased vacant land. So geographic area, cash buyers, vacant land. And here's one of the key distinctions. A lot of times when we're looking to build our buyer's criteria, meaning for motivated sellers for properties and land. So when we go to focus our buying list for properties and land, we typically focused on homeowners only, meaning single individuals. Occasionally we deal with like some trusts. Now, when you go to the cash buyers, the key difference here is a lot of people that buy land are going to buy it in their corporate name, usually under like an LLC, occasionally a trust or some type of partnership, a corporation. So when you're using your filter criteria, it's important to click individual and corporate. I like to click every one of them because people buy lands, they buy it in their name, they buy it in their mom's name, they buy it in their LLC, they buy it in their corporation. This is a key distinction to make sure you get an accurate cash buyers list. I get so stuck in my motivated sellers criteria, and we're focusing on single family homes that when I do vacant land, I have to remind myself when I'm looking for those buyers lists, the cash buyers for vacant land, that a lot of them own it under LLCs, corporations, etc. So make sure you click I just click them all. So it's mixed. They have trust, they have individual, and they have corporations and LLCs. Just click them all. That covers your bases. We don't care how they take title in it. The main thing is to build this list. Now, once you have your list, you'll fill it out. If you're doing just your geographic area, it's not going to be a ginormous list. So get that list, figure out what your strategy is. The fastest way really is just to skip trace those numbers and call the people, do a texting campaign. You can do an RVM if it's legal in your area, in your state. However you decide to tack it, that's completely up to you. This video is just about teaching you to pull the cash buyers list. So I like to use listrea.com because it's convenient. You already pay for it. You might as well get the data. And usually you're going to have, I mean, these aren't thousands of people. If you got 50 or 75 in like a geographic zip code, I mean, that's huge. So a lot of times we only have 15 or 20 people. So don't feel overwhelmed. These are really simple lists to attack, and it's really easy. And you don't have to complicate it. Just pick up your phone and call them. You can manually text them. You don't have to complicate this. Most buyers are more than willing to talk to anyone that will find them a deal. They are looking for a deal, and that's going to be your expertise. So now you know how to pull the cash buyers list. Let's go outside that area because you can do more. I know you can do more. You're not going to do the bare minimum. So your next step is, it's really fundamental networking, okay? The more people you can talk to, actually in the cash buying vacant land business, don't worry about the word wholesale when you do it. You're just looking for a buyer. Now, remember, when we're selling it, the key distinction is when land sells, it sells really easy. And the really cool thing is you don't have a tenant to deal with. Now, you might have a turtle, you might have a squirrel, you'll definitely have a few snakes, you'll have some rabbits, but you don't have to serve an eviction notice. So that's the beauty of wholesaling vacant land. So what you do is you can set the time frame. So whenever I've had to extend a contract for like selling a vacant land because I needed more time to get a buyer, it's never a big deal. Like it's nothing like when you deal with single family houses. So most of my contracts will say 90 days. If I can't find a buyer in 90 days, we probably got the wrong price. You can do 60 to 90 days and comfortably wholesale any type of vacant land as long as you got the right price. If you need an extension, most sellers are pretty reasonable because they're not collecting revenue. There's not a house for maintenance on it. The taxes are low. There's no insurance and there's no tenant. So keep that in mind. So if you write a contract for 30 days, I want you to put in an additional, you call it an addendum, and just write it in there. Buyer has the option to extend the contract an additional 30 days if need be. Just have to inform him in writing. And that's simple. Right there, you got a 60 or 90-day contract. So time is your friend when you're wholesaling vacant land, and especially if you guys are just getting started out and you have minimal budget and you need to assign these deals, wholesaling vacant land is a no-brainer. You just got to pick the right area. So start with the area you live in. That's usually the easiest, and then you can decide to take it virtually from there. So back to the buyers. We've established you have time to work with them. It's not as stressful as single family houses. So you have to expand your network. So the first thing I want you to do is reach out. You're going to find every builder. You're going to find every developer, even like some bigger name contractors. These are the people that have clients that need the homes. Now, a little disclaimer on builders. They're a bit of a pain in the butt, and they like to buy like 50 pieces of land at once. So sometimes you have to filter out the bigger builders. I like to focus on the smaller mom and pop builders because they'll buy one or two lots, they build on them, and they just build enough for the cash they have. And they typically will pay the highest premium with no questions asked. Some of the higher end builders do get a little bit more difficult on assignments. Let's focus on like the mom and pop, the contractors, smaller developers, people who build one or two houses at a time. They are perfect because they're always looking for land. And when business is booming in the house building, they need vacant land to keep moving. So if they got to pay an extra 10 or 15 grand and they already have a client for like a particular model house, they will pay your fees. I'm telling you, they pay them all the time. So builders, contractors, developers, how do you find them? Guys, you can search online, drive around the neighborhoods, find the model home rows. That's where they build the model homes and they show all the clients. Wonderful place to do it. They said any online searches. The other one is you need to connect with realtors and brokers in your area, especially the ones that have those big vacant signs, commercial land available, especially when you see multiple ones. They are dynamite. Yes, you have to pay them a commission. It's worth it. They will put you in contact with the right people, sometimes developers, small contractors, private individuals. It doesn't matter. I find that the realtors with the big vacant land signs for sale, they usually have a lot of inventory and they have a deep list of buyers you can work with. You just have to pay their commission. It's worth it, guys, especially if you're just getting started out. So I like to work with them. The other areas you can find is really any realtor that sells vacant land. So if you can have a realtor go in the MLS and pull all the realtors that sold vacant lands in your area in the last 6 months. And it's just make sure you work with the realtor. Don't try to cut them out because it's not fair. And they'll be more than happy to help you out. And they have more knowledge than you on what stuff's selling for and what the buyers are willing to pay for it. So it's a huge win-win. And they all know it's cash deals. So go from there. The last but not least, go to your local RIAs. These things are absolutely loaded with builders, developers, lots of contractors that are in the flipping game, and they're always looking for opportunities to build their homes so they can sell to end users. They're not so much in the game as finding motivated sellers for vacant land. That's where you come in, and you are going to be the matchmaker. It's a great deal. And guys, don't limit yourself on what you can make in land. Sky's the limit. No appraisals, no financing. If you buy it right, say you buy a piece of land for 15 grand and he'll pay 50 or she'll pay 50, then do it. It's actually easier than the single family homes that you deal with. So what I want you to do is do a combo of the both, and it works. I waited way too late. I just didn't do land in the beginning. Now we look for land opportunities every chance we can get, and there's no reason you can't do the same. So guys, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Jam your thumb on that like button. Tell me what you like about this. Do you flip land? Do you believe you can wholesale land? I can tell you, we absolutely do it. There's no reason. You're no different than me. I've been doing this 18 years, and actually would have been so much easier to start with land. It really would have after I think about it. Easy sales, they move fast. It's the perfect opportunity for wholesaling land deals. Guys, get your hands on it. If you're not doing it, go ahead and do it. Explore your market, and you can go fast with this, and you can make some quick cash for your business. So you continue to flip all types of real estate, not just single family homes, but you can wholesale land as well too. So guys, this is Rick Ginn with Flip with Rick, and I'll see you in the next video.